All right, what's up, everybody? My name is Tim Stoddard. Welcome to Tim Stodds FM. Welcome to the show. Doing something new today. I'm starting a new chapter for my blog and for my website and for my brand. I don't even really like calling it a brand, to be honest, because I feel like when I say brand, it means that I have some kind of objective behind it. And maybe at one point that was the case. I can't say that since I started my website, I've just been completely pure with the concept of sharing my ideas. But today is really gonna be the end of that. And I'll tell you why. There's a lot of things that have been going through my head recently, and I may have lost sight as to the purpose behind this website and the purpose behind my blog. Let me back up. I'm going to explain a little. I have a very, very obsessive mind. It's got a lot to do with the reason why I've struggled with addiction in my life and why I had to get sober and live a completely sober lifestyle. I get these ideas and I get these thoughts and I get very, very, very obsessive over it. And it's worked in my benefit a lot. If I'm being honest, it's really worked in my benefit because even though it's consuming, it's very, very consuming, it protects me from being snuck up on. And this obsessive mind that I have has had a lot to do with why I think I've had a lot of success with my digital marketing agency with Stodzy, and why Sober Nation has grown the way that it has, and why I've been able to do some really cool things. It's because I think about it all the time. I think about these things. I think about everything all the time, and it can be exhilarating and exhausting as well, because you don't get a whole lot of time to refresh and sort of take a step back. And what has happened, unfortunately, but I'm grateful that I have the realization to see this now. What has happened is that inevitably my blog has slowly started morphing into something that seems like there's an objective behind it. And that's unfortunate, because the reason why I write and the reason why I make these podcasts and why I've done the videos and the reason why I started doing it was because I needed to have a thing in which I could just express myself and express my ideas and share my ideas with the world that did not have some kind of objective behind it. And define objective however you want. Usually it means money, right? Usually it means like growing a business of some kind, whether that's like selling a product or selling a service or even drawing traffic to a website so I can make some money doing advertising or doing affiliate stuff, which I've experimented with. It's turned into that, and I can't help it because it's my obsession. It's this like thing that I've carried with me for so long, which like I said, it's difficult for me to remove that from myself because it helps me a lot. It really, really helps me, and I'm always thinking of ways to improve, and I'm always thinking of ways I can get better. It's like a really good catalyst for progress. The problem with that is that things are never enough. And in a way, you kind of have to not like yourself, because you're always finding things about yourself that aren't good enough, at least that I appear aren't good enough. And so you always want to do better because you have something else to prove, or you have You have another milestone that you want to hit, and no matter how well it goes and how strong your relationships are and how good you feel that particular day or how grateful you are, you wake up the next morning and you're constantly starting all over again. And this, I'm going back and forth a little bit, but like this is a positive thing in a lot of regards. It's it's helped me not get comfortable, and it's helped me uh, continue to like move forward and push myself. But it works against me a lot of the times as well because it leaves me in a place where I'm always wanting more, and constantly wanting more means that like I'm never quite grateful for the things I have. And when you're not grateful, it's difficult to be content because you lose perspective on what is really happening in the world around you and like how good I actually have it. So, this is the start of something new for me. These obsessive kind of ideas that I get, they manifest themselves in organization. So, when I write blog posts, I always need to have my pictures the same size, and I need to have like the logo on the picture in like the same exact spot, and I like to have the same sort of dark saturation so that the words that I put on top of the image are like in the same exact spot, and it gets to go out at the same time every day. And when I do these podcasts, I like to have the same exact format. I like them to be about the same length so that people know what they can expect. And when I send my podcast out through my blog, I like it all to be formatted properly on the page with the video at the bottom and like a link to some of the show notes at the bottom of the article. And what I need to do, and what I'm intentionally going to do, is get away from this kind of thinking because it's restricting my ideas that I want to share with the world. Once I can allow myself to not be so confined with with format and expectations, then I can allow myself to just spread the ideas that I really care about. There's been a lot of things that I want to write about and a lot of things that I want to say, but I don't because I feel like it doesn't fit in the alignment of my quote brand. And again, that's where that word brand like kind of fucks me because when I say brand, it means there's an objective behind it, and that's not the case. At least it's not supposed to be. So all of these ideas that I want to write about, I'm just gonna go ahead and do them because there's no objective behind this. My blog is about the discipline to publish something at the same exact time every day. My blog is about reaching out to other people who think the same way that I do, and that's not going to be everybody. And that's okay. It's okay for me to get away from that like more and more and more mindset and to dive into the like tribe mindset where I can find people who are like me. And I can talk to those people and I can share ideas with those people. And I can also find people that aren't like me and maybe we can bounce ideas back and forth from each other. And that's how you learn and that's how we progress, right? But this is going to allow me to talk about interests that I have, like science and some of the fears about culture and about our planet and about nature and about a lot of the world politics that kind of scare me and about media and about news and sometimes even some gossip. I can write about whatever I want to write about, and I don't have to be so confined within a brand. I don't have to be so afraid to do something that doesn't quite fit the format that I feel comfortable in. And as long as I do that, I think I'll probably see benefits that I didn't even expect. Because here's the reality. I know how to create a website and to do certain things, certain tactics that will grow the website in terms of traffic and visitors and money and sales. Like, I know how to do that. I'm pretty good at it. I'm not the best person in the world at digital marketing, but I know how it works. And I have like a real, real solid track record to prove it. But when I take that thinking, when I take that obsessive thinking and that like progressive thinking where like I always got to do better, I always got to do better, and I implement it into me, into my life, then it's just a recipe for discontentedness, discontentedness, whatever that fucking word is. And I don't want it to be that way. Really don't. I want to have something that just allows me to sort of share my ideas. And this is going to be uncomfortable for me because I don't like posting videos about myself on Facebook. It's a lot of why I record these videos on YouTube, because I don't really have like a YouTube following. And so I know I can record these live videos and people aren't going to see it. But I think it's going to be important for me to do it just because these are my ideas that I want to spread with the world. And if there's people who are like-minded, then they can follow along. And if there's not, then I don't know, they can talk shit, or preferably they can just not follow me. And that's the way it's supposed to be. And that's something that I'm not comfortable with, but I'm going to get comfortable with just by doing it. I feel really, really good about this. I won't bore you with the whole story, but I just woke up this morning and I was really, really on edge, and I was I was doing what I do, like I'm bouncing back and forth with all of the properties that I have and all the ideas I have, and like this thing needs to be perfectly organized to go in this direction, and this website needs to be perfectly organized to go in this direction. I'm looking at my blog, I'm looking at my timstods.com site, and I can see all the different angles that like I can turn it into like a profitable automated machine. And I was just quickly losing sight as to the reason why I love the internet in the first place. And that is that the internet defines our culture, and vice versa. The culture defines what we put on the internet. And I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of a machine. I'm trying to think of a different word of machine. I want to be part of a creative outlet that continues to grow our culture and continues to find ways that we can make life on planet Earth better for people and for animals and for plants and for all different cultures around the world. I want to be a part of that. And I don't want to just be a part of this tiny little club that's like about traffic and online marketing, because I've seen that club, and there's parts of it that like are really enticing to me, but there's also parts of it that it seems kind of fucking fake. It seems kind of like it's so manufactured sometimes. It's just these formulas that you can put together and you can expect a certain result from it. And in those formulas, we lose our art. We lose what it is that like makes us human, that we create because we want to impact the people around us by um, sparking an emotion. So that's what I'm going to do. This is me like officially putting it out there. So this is like my statement. This is my once and for all. No more fucking around. So you can expect from me a blog post delivered straight into your inbox at 8 a.m. every morning, no matter what. I'm going to write every day, and I'm going to write about my ideas. You can expect podcasts and videos from me, and you can expect them to be all over the place. Maybe sometimes I'll interview somebody, maybe sometimes I'll just go like this, but you can always expect it to be from me. You can expect it to be authentic from me, expressing my ideas. Maybe that's me reading a story out loud that I wrote, or maybe that's me like finding an article that I thought was cool that I can, share my own viewpoint on. The point is, whatever I'm going to do, it's going to be authentic to me, and there's going to be no objective behind it other than me sharing my ideas with the world. My one hope, my one hope is that in doing this, I can inspire other people to do the same. And I don't mean do the same as in follow my path. I mean that if there's somebody that has something that they want to say and they don't know if they're worthy enough to hit publish, they don't know if like they're worthy enough to share their ideas and be taken seriously and be respected, that they can look at me, who comes from where I've come from and has been through the things that I've been through and was such like a a lower member of like the societal totem pole, and you can see what I do, and you can see firsthand that like people do care about what you say. That would make me feel really good. Even if there's one person, if there's one kid that can watch me, if I can be like somebody's favorite and I can show them that there's value in expressing your ideas, that would make all of this feel worth it to me. And that's it. And this is the start of a new journey. This is the start of me me getting back to making things because that's what I love to do. All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next time. Peace.